Hi guys, today we're going to talk about healing from divorce and life after divorce. I think this is an important topic because over 50% of Americans are divorced and or going through the process of divorce, and it's important to just have some facts and also know what you can do to heal your heart as you're going through divorce, and the importance of how to take care of yourself while you're going through divorce. And if you have children, the more you can take care of yourself, the better you are able to take care of your kids during the whole process as well. So first of all, going through divorce is never a fun or easy process. More often it's very painful, it's hurtful, and it's an ending. And even when it's an amicable divorce, it's still a process of ending a relationship. And a lot of times people ask, or people, say, oh, I can't believe I got divorced, I'm such a failure. And really, I don't think, I think that there are different ways that we should look at that. Sometimes, if you want to say you failed, it's a failure. However, I was listening to a TED Talk with Esther Perel the other day, and she's a licensed marriage and family therapist and a sex therapist in New York. And she had a fabulous way to describe divorce. And if couples looked at divorce as an ending of the relationship and the loss of love, it takes away from, thinking that the relationship failed and holding on to negativity. When we look at the ending of a relationship and the loss of love, then we can honor the relationship for what it was at the time. And I thought that was a good shift. If we let go of, oh, we failed, I'm such a failure, we do hold on to a lot of negativity. If we look at it like this is the loss of love or the ending of love, we can feel our feelings, we can process the grief, and then it's a transition, and we can honor the relationship for what it was. So I kind of liked that spin from Esther Perel. The other thing I want to say is, as you're going through divorce, there are some important tips or facts that you need to hold dear to you. First of all, you need to find out and access who your support system is. Therapist, religious leader, family, friends, all these people in your life that are going to help support you through this difficult time. When you're going through the divorce process, you have your ups and downs. You have those days where you're completely heartbroken, and then you have those days where you're, managing, and you're saying, okay, I can get through this. And so it's really important that you have those people in your life that are saying, like, hey, I'm here to help, or what do you need to do? What do you need with the kids? Or, how can we just stay in touch with you and maybe talk about the weather? Because we know that you don't want to talk about what's happening in your life. So, fact or tip one, who's your support system? And who are going to be those people in your life that are going to help you through this difficult time. The second part, or part of that support system is, if you have kids, who is in your kids' lives that are going to help them through this process as well. Whether we want to admit it or not as parents, when we go through divorce, even if it's amicable, our kids still are sad. And they're still grieving the loss of their parents and the idea of that family. And so it's really important that we access their support system too. So therapists, friends, family, just people in their lives that are going to give them positivity and encouragement and help them smile, especially when you as a parent is having a really bad day. It's also good just to have, scheduled like fun days with your kids where, you're just doing something fun and lighthearted. Even if it's just for 30 minutes, giving that time to them is really important. And between you and your spouse, as you're going through this divorce process, it's really important that you have, and this part's hard, but a shared dialogue of what you're telling the kids, because anytime you talk badly about the other parent in front of them, it only hurts your kids and it hurts your relationship with them. Anytime you put down the other parent, any of that, any negativity really, really hurts the child. So this is super important. Please do not talk badly about the other parent in front of your children. It only hurts them. And allow openness for your kids to come talk to you about their own mixed emotions. And if it's something that really triggers your hurt or your pain, take a deep breath, listen, engage with your kids, and then that's when you call your support system. And when your kids aren't around and you cry or you yell or you scream, and if you don't have access to your support system at that time, then keep a journal. And journaling is at least a way that you're writing out your emotions. It's a way to get it out so you can go back to being present, or at least processing some of your emotions during this difficult time in your life. Self-love, it's really important to say things that you love about yourself. And I know that sounds cheesy, but finding those moments of joy, finding ways that you take care of yourself. Self-love and self-care are really important during this process. Finding moments of joy, finding ways that you just kind of refuel and re-energize during this process. It's all the way that you take those moments to get some energy, or take those moments to kind of process the ups and downs of your life in that during that time, or even shortly after your divorce, because it is a grief, it's a loss. And if you just try to jump back into real life, it's at some point those emotions that you've tried to stuff down are going to come out. So it's better to kind of manage the both and taking care of myself and also distracting myself at times that I need to, just with healthy distractions. But it's the back and forth. So I did a video on healing from heartbreak, and there's some really good tips on there on how to take care of yourself and how to heal, and that can apply and be applicable. The only part is when I said no contact with your ex. Obviously, if you have kids together, you're still going to have contact, and that is when you have to do your best. And your ex-partner might say something that really triggers you, really upsets you. Breathe, do your best to just maintain communication about the kids, even when it's something frustrating. Because, again, you don't want to talk badly about your ex in front of the kids. And obviously, guys, if, your kids are being hurt, that's a whole nother story. And you call the police, call the attorney. If your kids are being physically harmed, that's different. But this is just if you're angry at your spouse and your spouse took the kids for ice cream right before you were going to have dinner with them, and you want to, wring their necks. And then all of a sudden, you can't do that in front of your kids. So I hope that makes sense. Again, it's really hard, but you have to do your best when you and your ex are communicating. Only make it about your kids, and know that when you are communicating amicably, that's a hard word to say, it's the best thing and best gift you can give to your kids as everyone is going through this divorce process. And the other parts is, how do I process my feelings? How do I work through things? A lot of times it's like, I don't want to talk about my feelings anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sad, or I'm tired of being angry. It still takes some time. Finding moments of gratitude or speaking moments of gratitude just helps you process how you're feeling, or the grief process. When you feel sad, or as I said in my other video about heartbreak, if you have the ugly cry, that's okay, especially in the beginning stages of divorce. You have to take that time to really process. If your ex starts dating someone else, you're not going to have a good few days, or a little bit longer. And this is another time where you go back and you do those things that help you heal. Take care of yourself, finding moments of joy, contacting your support network, exercise, eating healthy, reading a good book, journaling. All of those things help you process your emotions. And, just remember that. And also, you know, when you're in this kind of stage, like early stages of divorce, and you're communicating with your ex, you know, it's this hard back and forth because you're used to talking to them like you were marital partners or, you know, long-term relationship partners, and then you shift from being kind of two different strangers. And I think at times that's the part that hurts the most, is the loss of your best friend. And, you know, instead of staying caught in the hurt or pain of that, what do? We get angry. We yell, we say things, and we say hurtful things. And I'm not saying you go to your ex and say, "Oh, I'm really missing you as my best friend." Those are the things that you journal about, or you talk to your therapist about, or you talk to your friends about. That is the hardest part, is the loss of the friend. And the hope is, especially if you have children together, is throughout time, you know, as you start to heal, as you move forward in your life, as you both find forgiveness for what happened in the relationship. And this is when you go back and you can honor the good parts of your relationship, like Esther Perel was talking about. And you can hopefully not only be really good parents, but there can be a friendship where at least, and this is a big one, guys, mutual respect is present. And that's important to show your kids too. If you guys can be really good co-parents, if you can be respectful of one another, you know, if you can hang out at the basketball game together without causing a fight, those are all beautiful gifts you can give to your children. So I think that those tips are important. And I did just mention, I want to go back to it, not only the stages of grief that you might feel, but also forgiveness, self-forgiveness, or forgiving the parts of the breakdown of your relationship or whatever happened, does help you move forward and accept the loss and then move forward into a new life. And, you know, this is also another delicate balance, is once you're divorced and moving forward, by the way, moving forward, you know, it doesn't, in a healing way, it doesn't just happen. It does take time. But as you move forward, you know, just to take, again, it goes back to self-care, just to take that time to take care of yourself, and the ups and downs, and day by day, you will start to feel better. It doesn't mean all of your grief and pain go away, but it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And there's going to be times, you know, even 2 years later, 5 years later, where you might have a moment where you feel sadness. That doesn't mean that you want to go back or maybe you made a mistake. It just means, again, it's acknowledging the loss of the relationship, and oftentimes the loss of that best friend. You know, when you marry someone or when you're in a long-term relationship with someone and you have children together, there were those moments in your life that were wonderful and beautiful. And that is the hard part of divorce. You know, it's like, what happened to those times? And, you know, that will be another blog, by the way. But it is just looking at, you know, the times that you shared together, the breakdown of the relationship, and then the new life together. When you divorce and you have children together, you are still going to be in each other's lives. And the hope is that you share the same goals of how to raise your kids, even in different families, being that good co-parent. So I hope that this was helpful, and please subscribe to my channel and get weekly videos on different aspects of relationships. Have a great day.